big one for me. I was not really looking forward to seeing the headliner at all, but two of the bands opening for the headliner were definitely bands I wanted to see. So this concert was at the Baltimore Soundstage, and it was Newfound Glory headlining with Real Friends, Early November, and Dollskin as openers. So getting there was a big, huge pain. There was actually an accident on the ICC, which never happens, and I was so mad because my GPS took me all around these back roads. It took me 40 minutes to go the equivalent of 9 miles, and I was just and then there was another accident on 95, but fortunately by the time I got there, it was already done, and I made it literally just on time. So it said, according to the website, that the show started at 7:28 or 7:30, and I was there at 7:28. So yeah, the band. So Dollskin was already playing when I got there, so they started a little bit early, which normally if it was a band I actually wanted to see, I would be so mad because I just had made it just on time, just at 7:28, and I know times are subject to change, but I'm glad that they started this early because there was 4 bands, which means it's going to be a late show. But yeah, so that was kind of nice, so Dollskin is an all-female band, which is pretty awesome. I actually really liked the drummer. She did some pretty fun stuff with the drumstick, but yeah, just a classic female rock band. Wasn't a huge fan of some of their songs, but other ones, I did like parts of them. One thing in particular was so during the 5th song, the lead singer did some screaming, which I thought was pretty impressive, and even though I didn't really, I was a little bit sad because I liked the music to that song and I liked the screaming part of that song, but I didn't love what the song was about. Just the lyrics in general were just not really grabbing, and I don't know. So they were okay, and I do give them a lot of credit. So they had the smallest amount of space on the stage because everything was set up behind them, so that they had this little tiny corner. But the lead singer was a crazy singer. She jumped all over the place. She went to the barricade at one point. And yeah, she was just really cute between songs. She was getting the crowd really excited in a really fun way that yeah, it actually got me excited. So yeah, so I did like that about that set. Again, female singers, trying to be more open to them. And there were parts of songs that I really did like, but for the most part, it was just that classic female rock band sound, and I'm not a huge fan of. So yeah. So then the Early November, so when you listen to Early November, on the CD, you're oh my god, this set is gonna be so boring. But they were so good live, so good. So they opened with a really heavier sounding song, and I really, really loved the bridge of that song. It was so good, gave me the chills, just totally pulled me in. Fantastic. And then I really loved the guitar part at the end. It was just such a good way to open their set, and again, to pull me in right from the beginning was just, really pull me in. So I really loved that song. And then the second song was such a good follow-up. So it's they hold notes in one word, but then it's also part word repetition at the same time. Oh gosh, it was just such a good 2-song, boom, boom, 2 great songs. Oh, it was so good. And then it's pretty cool. So then the lead singer was okay, well, so if you don't know, if you know the song, great, sing along. If you don't, you have to help us. It's a 1-word chorus and decoration. And it's funny because you don't really realize, you're oh yeah, that is an entire chorus, just 1 word. So that was pretty just a random oh yeah, huh. But then that song was awesome. Then they played a couple other songs that I didn't necessarily recognize. But yeah, they had a really good set, really fun band, and again, between songs, they were just genuine, and they seemed to just really be enjoying it. And I think they said they're coming out with a new album in September, so I'm super pumped. Can't wait. Hopefully they'll come back on tour and I'll be able to see them headline, because it was a really, they're just so good live, and I've seen them before and I just forgot how different they are from their CD. And sometimes I don't like that, but this band just really goes above and beyond and makes it very good. Alright, so then we have Real Friends, and I love Real Friends. I've seen them many times before, and really do enjoy their sets. They're very entertaining. So when they came out, though, it was like kind of, I don't know if it was just like my really enjoyed the early November-ness in me, but I really like couldn't get into Real Friends' set until like the 4th song. And I'm mad because they came out with an album and I guess I didn't listen to it enough, and so maybe those first couple songs were from that album. And if I had listened to it more, I would have like been more interested. But yeah, I mean, it was good, don't get me wrong. They were fantastic, and he's jumping around, and it was really fun. But it wasn't really until that 4th song that I was like, oh, okay, like, this is really, like, what I remember enjoying about this band. And then the lead singer asked for a mosh pit, and then they played one of my favorite songs of theirs, so that was pretty cool. And then the best was, like, the lead singer was like, all right, so we're gonna slow it down now, is that okay? And no one said anything, and he was like, well, I guess this would be the appropriate reaction to that, like, this time in the set. So I thought that was pretty funny that he just kind of, like, rolled with it, and yeah, I mean, people, like, yeah, it was just, like, a weird feeling, like, nobody responded, and then he just was like, all right, well, this is what we're doing now. And that song was actually one of their songs that I know and like as well. So they had technical issues, I guess, so they took one of the songs out of their set. So that was, like, interesting to me, and so then the next, like, so they played another song, and then after that, the guitarist said, oh, this is where it gets interesting, which tells me that whatever was wrong, they needed the, like, that to be fixed in order to make the next song, like, actually be functional, but they played it anyway, and honestly, I couldn't tell the difference, but again, I don't really know the song that well, so maybe if I, again, had known the songs better, I would have noticed that, but I thought it sounded great. The last 2 songs were songs from their newer album, and they were songs from the album that I really liked, and that, like, just listening to it a couple times, I was like, ooh, I really like this song. So I was really glad they ended with those 2 songs. They definitely got better as the set went on, in my opinion. The first 3 songs, I was like, the 4th song was much better, and then they played songs that I liked and knew, and then they ended the set with 2 songs that I at least recognized and enjoyed a lot. So yeah, they had a pretty solid set as well. And okay, so New Found Glory. Let me give you some background first. I am not a huge New Found Glory fan. I don't really love them, and it's a weird reason why. Well, first of all, part of it is his voice. I don't really love the voice. It's like a little bit too, like, almost like nasally but complainy. I don't really know how to describe it, and I definitely now feel like I need to listen to those songs again and really pinpoint why I don't like his voice, for the most part. But another reason was, so when they came out with their music, I was, like, super into, like, that alternative rock, like, punk sort of scene. And so my sister was also, like, semi into that. She had, like, a really eclectic taste in music at that time. But one of the bands that she, like, really liked was New Found Glory. So I was like, whoa. I was like, I cannot like this band if she likes this band. So pretty much from then on, I was like, nah, I just don't like New Found Glory. Now, again, I mean, partially is the voice. So there is a legit, like, reason to it. But some of it's, like, just some personal, maybe need to get over it at this point in life sort of a thing. But yeah, so anyway, I went to see them. I stayed for their set, and I'm glad I did. So they, like, opened with this, like, old-timey, like, voicey thing, and then, like, right after that, they played the introduction to Universal movies. Yeah, you all know what I'm talking about. And then the lead singer came out in, like, a boxing robe with one hand in a boxing glove and then the mic in the other hand. And they came out to Eye of the Tiger. And so they sang the entire Eye of the Tiger song. I thought maybe they would just do the beginning, but no, they, like, legit went for it. So that was pretty cool. The second song was, like, a definitely pulled people in sort of a song. It was their own song, and it was definitely, like, an upbeat. I mean, after Eye of the Tiger, then to play another upbeat song was definitely a good choice. And so then after a couple songs, they played the, like, Anna Kendrick song from Pitch Perfect, like the Cups one, and that's when the guitarist explained that, I guess I, again, didn't know this because I'm not a fan, but so I guess they just came out with a covers album of all, like, songs that became popular from movies. So this was, like, the theme of the night, was they're going to play some old songs, but then they're also going to play songs from movies. So I had no idea, and let me tell you, I am so glad that this is their show that I went to, because, again, I not a huge fan of theirs. So the fact that I had like something to look forward to, like sporadically in the set, was just like super fantastic. And they did such a fantastic job with all the covers, and I'll kind of explain why I loved what they did with it. So they played the Cup song. Then they played a couple other songs, and then the next cover was super fantastic. So after a couple songs, which were fine and good, they also played like the song with Catalyst in the chorus. So like that was super amazing. I was like, oh god, I'm enjoying this song so much, and I a little bit hate myself for enjoying it this much, but I really liked when they played that song, and I'm glad that I got to see that live. Anyway, so the next cover they played after the Cup song was Let It Go from Frozen. And the lead singer comes out in a long blonde wig and a blue Elsa dress. So that was definitely a highlight for sure. Something that was super interesting and unique. And then after that was kind of a lull for me in the set in general. It just really like... They played another cover. I didn't recognize it. I didn't know what movie it was from. I recognized it as a cover song. I actually Googled it just to make sure. I was like, wait, is this their song that I like had heard a couple times and knew? Or is this an old song that I'm just not remembering? And it was a cover song. So I didn't really know what movie that was from. Maybe it wasn't from a movie, but I feel like the theme was cover songs for movies. So I'm assuming it was from a movie. But yeah, and then their own songs that they played were not very like grabbing, and I just was kind of definitely a lull for me. And again, like the songs they played were okay, they were fine. It just nothing really was like, ooh, I really like this, or oh, I'm gonna have to listen to that. It just was like, oh, okay, it's New Found Glory. Oh, okay. But then after that, I am like this was nerdily my favorite part. Well, no, okay, maybe not my favorite, but one of my favorite parts. So the guitarist then introduced the lead singer of Yellow Card. I want to say Ryan Key. And I didn't realize, but yeah, he was playing guitar for them, and apparently he's going on tour with them, and I was like so excited. I was like, oh my god, I love Yellow Card. I miss them so much, and I'm just so glad that he's like still in the music scene, and who knows what will come of it. But yeah, so that was kind of cool. So I was glad that they introduced him. And then after they introduced him, the lead singer came back with a whole ringmaster getup, and they played the song from The Greatest Showman. So that I really liked that song. And then after that, they played another song that I knew fairly well of theirs, like a more popular hit. So that was fun. Again, not as fun as the Catalyst one, but it was pretty fun. And then after that, they actually introduced. They had a member of Real Friends come back out, and they played another one of their like probably bigger hits, but I didn't actually know it that well. But man, I really, really liked that song, like to a point where I need to go like download it immediately. And again, I wasn't a huge fan of New Found Glory, so the fact that I actually want to like download one of their older songs is pretty significant. I really liked it live. It was so good. That was like a pull me in moment. So I was really, really glad that after like this like 3 great songs, especially after this lull, right? It's like you get a lull, then you're like, oh my god, the guy from Yellow Card is here. Oh, they're playing the Showman song. Oh, they're playing a song I know. And then, oh my gosh, this song is so good. Like, I really am enjoying this set right now. So I was really excited about that, like, little part of it. And then after that, they played the She's All That song, the Kiss Me song. So that was super awesome. Like, super great. I really liked that part of the set. So yeah, that was really good. Then they played, like, 1 or 2 more songs, a couple more songs. And then they got off the stage for their encore. So when they came back for the encore, I couldn't really see because I was in the back, but the one, I'm pretty sure it was reference to Back to the Future. He came out with like a shirt underneath with a jean jacket with the collar popped and then a red like puffy vest. So I'm pretty sure it was Back to the Future. I didn't recognize the song. I'm not gonna lie, I maybe haven't seen Back to the Future as many times as some people have. So I don't really remember that song in particular. But it was definitely a cover. I definitely recognize the song as a cover, like right from the start. So yeah, so it was fun, and like people were like enjoyed the costume change for sure. Then they played another song which I did not recognize, but it was good. It definitely was like a nice transition from the cover, right, which was great. It was a fun song, but then to get into like another really fun song, and then they ended their set with, of course, their biggest hit, which I was like, talk about like hating myself even more. Like the Catalyst song was one thing, but to like rock out to My Friends Over You was just like, I can't. It was just like, why am I doing this to myself? I don't love this band, but it was fun. I mean, I can't deny that it was a really good set, and I appreciate that they ended with their biggest hit. So yeah, it was a fun show. It did run a little bit late, but honestly, they were so entertaining, and I didn't really notice it except for the exception with that one like serious lull section. I was like, oh my god, it's 10:30, I'm ready to roll. But yeah, so overall it was an interesting show for sure. Scores, let's see. Okay, so I did not appreciate the traffic, although that can't really impact, so I'm not gonna make it impact, although it should because it was so terrible. Anyway, so the first band was okay. Again, I don't love female singers. I especially don't like really love that like classic like female rock band sound. And by classic, I don't mean like classic rock. I mean like just like that like cookie cutter sound. Like there was nothing super special about her voice. There was nothing super special about the songs. It was just very like, oh, it's a female rock band sort of a sound. So I wasn't a huge fan of the opener. Loved me some Early November. I really liked Early November. I just those first two songs, like to literally give me the chills in the first like 5 minutes of your set is just so impressive. And then even the songs I didn't know I still loved. Same with Real Friends. I do wish Real Friends would have I would have been interested. I wonder what song they didn't play, because I feel like maybe it was a song that I would have known, and obviously that makes me sad because I love Real Friends and I love songs that I know. And I'm also wondering if maybe that would have just enhanced the whole set overall if the whatever technology was not working was working. But I think they did a great job, especially with that whole, like, when the crowd didn't respond and he was just like, okay, like, they just, like, definitely rolled with it, and they were very professional about it, and they did. They played great songs, and I really do like how, like, towards the end was really where I enjoyed the set the most, as opposed to the beginning, and yeah, I just kind of wish those beginning songs kind of had struck me, but, so yeah, they're not going to lose too many points for that because their end of the set was really good. And then New Found Glory was great. They were good, man, like super entertaining. And again, I think if they didn't do the movie thing, I don't know if I would have enjoyed it as much, because again, it's just like something that I don't really love New Found Glory, so I didn't know a lot of the songs, and the like 2 songs that I actually like really enjoyed, that would have been just 2 songs, but then because of the covers and the costumes and just like the fun aspect and just like the lighthearted nature, it did really make it way more fun, for me personally. So I really liked their set. I was thoroughly impressed, and again, slightly ashamed that I had so much fun rocking out to their cheesy music, but I love it. I loved it. It was great. Yeah, I don't know, this is a tough one. I think I'm going to give this one, oh gosh, I think I'm going to give this one an 8.0. Didn't love the opener, like I said, and then really New Found Glory just kind of like was so good, but there was definitely that major lull. And then Real Friends was good, but again, like the first 4 songs were great, and honestly, the Early November was definitely the show stealer for me. but yeah, so let me know what you think. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Were you there? Did you have more fun with New Found Glory than I did? Let me know, comment, like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.